168 days and minus 33%. That is what XRP's price action has done in that time frame since it hit its cycle high to $3.40. And this, of course, as you can see here, back in January of this year. Now, when XRP hit this, it was off the back of bullish news, RLUSD launching, the court case seemingly coming to an end, which is not 100% over, but it's going to be over. In this video, we're going to focus on XRP's potential, but I think more specifically, the potential of the ecosystem. We know that in any ecosystem, you need DEXs, you need lending, you need borrowing, you need retail side adoption, you need institutional side adoption. Now, there is one project that is currently doing their IDO that is looking to not only hit retail, but also institutions in the one DApp, the one narrative that every single decentralized blockchain needs, which is a DEX. I'm going to review that project in this video, and then I'm going to decide, is this thing worth it or not? What kind of potential does it have? So make sure to stay tuned. I'll reveal what the project is here in a second, but I do want to talk about XRP just a little bit and the potential of XRP's ecosystem as a whole as Ripple continues to pour in money, resources, bringing partnerships into the XRPL ecosystem. Now, XRP price action-wise, we did tell our viewers to look for a short at $2.33, which you see here, we got here on Monday on a wick. This is actually on my trading show on Sistine Trading, where I talked about this. And in fact, price did get up to $2.33. And well, we saw a drawdown of around 7.6. Now, the beauty of it is, and we talked about this on the show, is by failing to break this key resistance level, XRP made an inverse head and shoulders, which I'm going to draw my beautiful line. There's your neckline. We got a break above, positive retest, and now we're looking to push straight up. Now, the measured move on this inverse head and shoulders breakout would be a move up, and I'll drop a flag, to around $2.45. Now, you're possibly looking into trading. I'd be looking at, we're going to get another retest. We're seeing some momentum in the markets now at the time of recording, but I would find it hard pressed to be able to short XRP now. Again, with everything going on and the ecosystem really booming, I would be careful. Also, although we don't have technically an XRP ETF, we kind of do by proxy, as this news dropped just yesterday, a couple days ago. XRP price as Grayscale gets green light for ETF launch, which includes XRP. Now, their digital large cap fund, which again includes, it's the GDLC fund, which includes Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, Cardano, and XRP, was given the approval to migrate over to an actual ETF. And so now, although again, by proxy, people can get exposure to XRP via traditional financial rails like ETFs. We know we're going to get an XRP ETF approval here soon. I think by the end of this month or in August, and what the SEC is working on as well. One, hopefully they're working on dropping the case. We know the judge kind of sent that back as Ripple and the SEC were looking to get rid of the case completely. But they're also working on a framework, approval or denial. Here's what needs to happen. Here's what you need to do. Talking, of course, about the issuers and the companies that want to launch these ETFs. So this thing should pick up steam fairly quickly as things become more pronounced and the SEC gives more clear guidance to these projects and companies that are looking to launch into the traditional world. Now, let's talk about the XRP ecosystem and this project that reached out and asked us to actually review their project. And I said, look, I will review your project, but I'm going to give 100% my opinion. So I did some research, I did some digging. Okay, this sounds pretty cool. So we're going to go over that together now. Now, we know that every single L1 needs a DEX. You take a look at Ethereum. What does Ethereum have? They have Uniswap. Uniswap's fully diluted market cap is $7.42 billion. And what is ETH's fully diluted market cap? It is $309 billion. We have Solana, which is currently sitting at a market cap of $81.9 billion. And well, what do they have? They have Jupiter. Now, Jupiter at the time was a massive success. What they were doing was absolutely amazing. The order block matching, right? The market making they were doing, the stop orders, the limit orders on a DEX. It was great. People loved it. The UI, UX was excellent. And that's sitting at a fully diluted market cap of around $3.17 billion. Now, when you look at XRP, it is the third largest crypto, not including stables, the third largest crypto with $133.53 billion. And its TVL is only 58.49. Now, this is going to grow, well, because the XRP ledger is going to grow, and with RLUSD and all the partnerships that Ripple is making, this number will, at minimum, 20x. And that's like at an absolute minimum. You look at other layer ones and, well, what their TVL looks like. ETH is obviously king. It's currently sitting at $64 billion. Solana, which, by the way, XRP is ahead of in market cap, is currently at $8.5 billion, and we have XRPL sitting at $55 million. So the question then becomes, how deep into the XRP ecosystem should I go to lower my risk, but also get that big upside potential? And to me, a DEX makes the most sense, which is why today's video, I'm going to talk about XRP. Now, I do want to know right off the bat, this is a project that has not launched yet. It is currently in its IDO phase, as you can see here on your screen. And I do want to let you know, IDOs are inherently, and really any IDOs, ICOs, anything that the token is not launched yet, is inherently more risky than a token or a coin that's already on the market. So please keep that in mind as we go through the context of this video and also cover some of the things that DexRP is doing. But again, if you want that high potential, you're going to have to take a little bit of risk. But again, just want to throw that out there. It is an IDO. Token is not launched yet. We'll go over the roadmap. We'll go over exactly what it's looking to do. In fact, we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Now, again, DEX is super important. This is DexRP's white paper. And these are the core issues that they're looking to take head on. Number one, near instant settlements. They talk about XRPL's speed, trades, and finalization in under 5 seconds. Minimal transaction costs. User-first experience. To me, this is absolutely massive. If you guys watch our live show, which, by the way, Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, you know I am all about the user. You can't talk about bringing in the next billion users and then have a crappy UI and UX and a crappy front end, and people are trying to figure out, well, what the hell am I doing here? I think that's why Jupiter was so successful, is because their interface was intuitive, it was user-friendly, and it was newbie-friendly, let's be honest. And so I'm happy to see this in here. An intuitive interface and real-time analytics dashboard, simply the trading journey for both new users and professional traders. Optimize liquidity and order execution. And this is a big one for me as well, because we know how big XRP is on institutions. Institutional-ready infrastructure. Now, that is the beauty of what DexRP is looking to do. I haven't done anything yet because, again, the project still hasn't launched yet. But to be able to tap into retail, but also have something for the institutions, because that is what Ripple is grabbing the attention of, these institutions. And I think retail, obviously, to some extent is already there, but will continue to go in as the ecosystem grows. Now, this white paper, I will have a link to this in the description of the video. So if you want to go ahead and read this yourself, I always recommend people, not only who watch our videos, but don't, just take the information I give you and then just fact check it. Go back, do your own research. It's the best way if you're looking to invest really in any single project. Now, as I scroll down here, obviously they have a lot of different things, platform overhaul. So take a look at this. Core components of DexRP. The number one thing here is hybrid trading model, automated money maker or market maker and order book. DexRP integrates both an automated liquidity pool model and a traditional order book interface into one cohesive platform. Now, this is, again, what Jupiter has done, and really the order book side of thing, like interface, is really what the centralized exchanges do well in terms of from the user experience. And DexRP is looking to bring both those worlds together. I'm fully in support of that. Continuous fee auction mechanism. A unique innovation in DexRP is the continuous fee auction, where liquidity providers can use their LP tokens to bid for discounted trading slots. Dynamic fee voting. LPs can vote to raise or lower fees, lower trading fees based on real-time market conditions. I love this. So market conditions are crappy, they can, vote to lower the fees. If the market conditions are high and they're seeing a lot of throughput, well, they can raise the fees a little bit. I love that because, well, if the markets are down and you want people to still continue to use your platform, you can lower those fees and make it more enticing for them to come in. Real-time analytics dashboard, optimize liquidity aggregation, and smart order routing. Again, I keep going back to Jupiter because this is something that is already in play, has been around for a while, and is on, well, a top 5 blockchain. And there's one thing that I loved about using Jupiter, and I'm sure if the roadmap in the white paper comes to life with XRP, that I love using that as well, is the aggregation to find you the absolute best price for your swaps and the smart order routing. The beauty of using something like Jupiter and hopefully something like XRP is I can tap into any single liquidity pool without having to go to Radium or Meteora or Orca, or in XRP's case, all the different liquidity pools. I go to this one platform, Jupiter, XRP, and say, I want to swap XRP for this token. And it'll automatically find the liquidity pool and route it back to you at the best price. So absolutely love that. And then scrolling a little down, we are going to get into a little bit of the tokenomics, the IDO, and of course, the roadmap. And again, for those of you that are like, why are you skipping over this? I want to read it all. I'll have the link in the description of the video so you can go ahead and read it all yourself. So let's talk about their roadmap, and then we'll get into their tokenomics, and I'll give my final verdict on whether I think this is a project worth it or not. So Q2, which just ended literally a day ago, core infrastructure and IDO preparation. So far, this is going to be happening or happen. Q3, which is where we are now, IDO and product development. Now, the IDO is continuing to go. They are doing it in multiple rounds. So if you go to their website, which, by the way, I have the link to that as well, you'll see with each round, the price of each token does go up. And you can go in here. You can participate in the IDO if you want to. Just again, remember, IDOs are inherently more risky than a project that's already on there. But if you're not risk averse and you think it's worth the risk, it's your money. Do with it as you wish. But this thing could potentially, could have a lot of potential. So Q3, product development. Now, the exciting thing here is going to be Q4, which again might be perfect timing because throughout cycles, we've seen Q4 be where the all-time highs are set. So could XRP be trading at $7 to $10? DexRP, platform launches, the growth, massive. I mean, you talk about massive inflows. People get excited. I don't know, maybe they onboard some big traders, some big institutions, some big users. And then going into 2026, Q1, institutional integration. This is going to be very interesting to follow. And then going on to Q2, ecosystem expansion, so on and so forth. Now, the question then becomes, well, what's the token do? Why should I hold a token if I'm not really interested in just speculating on it? Okay, so they do have some core utility. One is trading fee discounts. So pay trading fees using DXP to unlock discounts. Yield booster activation, so you can stake the DXP token to increase LP rewards through additional multipliers. Premium access, right? Unlock early access to new trading pairs, features, and IDO pools. Fee auction participation, boost influence in the continuous fee auction. So the more DXP tokens you hold, the more power you have in your voting. Now, let's talk about tokenomics. There will be 2 billion total supply of DXP, with 500 million being allocated to the public sale, aka the IDO. 25% of supply, TGE unlock is at 10%, and the rest is 8 months linear monthly. 15% to liquidity, 10% to staking and rewards, 10% to ecosystem and partnership, 10% to team and advisors, 12% to marketing and community, 3% to airdrop, 9% to reserve and treasury. R&D is at 6%. And all of these, as you can see here, this third column, TGE unlock. Now, if you're not familiar with this term, token generation event, essentially when the token goes live, what percentage of these tokens are going to be accessible? So you can see here going down staking rewards, it'll be 0, 0, 0, all the way down, including for the team and advisors. So those of you that are worried about, hey, the token is going to be unlocked for the team and they're going to dump right away, as you can see here from their white paper, team and advisors, 0% at TGE, 12 months vesting. So that's good as well. Now, my final verdict on this is, although IDOs are inherently more risky, we have a project here and an ecosystem that is growing, that we expect to grow a lot higher. And when you take a look at, and we'll pull up XRPL here on DeFi Llama, and this is no shot against XRPL DEX, but the number one DEX right now is sitting at a $58 million valuation. I think this ecosystem is prime. I'm talking about the XRPL ecosystem is prime for some big movers, some shakers, some bakers. People are going to come in there and absolutely flip everything on its head, just like Jupiter did for Solana and just like Uniswap did for Ethereum. Again, if you want more information about DXP, I will have the links in the description of this video. And again, if you want to participate in their IDO, there will be a link in there as well. Again, I'll say it. IDOs are more risky. Be cautious, but you weigh your pros and cons. Are the pros worth what the cons are potentially? And I'll tell you this, if the team completes the roadmap and they stick to what they say they're going to do and the IDO launch is a success, I can honestly see this being not just a top DApp in the XRPL ecosystem, but the top DApp in the XRPL ecosystem. Of course, a lot of unknowns. If the team follows through, I'm very confident. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to come check out our live show Monday through Friday, and come check us out on Twitter or on X at SimCityCrypto1. Till the next one.